Oilersnation every day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
The Oilers are in Ottawa for their final game of the road trip. Thank goodness.
Thank God.
Let's get into it with the lead. Whew. It's almost over, folks. The boys are almost home.
They can sleep in their own beds soon enough.
We got one more game. Welcome into Oilers Nation. Every day the show is a presentation of Bet365. You can download the app today. Place your bets. It's never ordinary. Bet365.
Whatever the moment.
Whatever the moment.
Never ordinary.
It's never ordinary.
Me
Just
last
like
night in the Jays game, I had nothing ordinary on my parlay. Bang. It was a good night last night. It was a good night.
Jay's here. He's just currently invisible.
Jay, your thoughts?
I don't know when he'll be showing up, but surely he'll be here at some point. So welcome into Oilers Nation every day and also into the Sports Closet studio. New their location at Kingsway Mall now reopened after their renovations.
Fresh.
So go check that out. I haven't had the chance to go down there yet.
Get one of them World Series hats.
You could.
They looked pretty dope yesterday, not gonna lie to you.
I'm just so settled in Sherwood Park. I don't need to. I got my Sports Closet there.
Liam, they call it the bubble for a reason.
Yeah,
okay, I don't leave the bubble very often.
I drive to work. I leave work. I'm on like a zip line.
I pass the Refinery Row, sights and sounds of Edmonton. That's all I need.
That's all I got.
What up?
The Oilers tonight, Ottawa Senators, last game of the road trip, trying to end a 3-game skid now.
We talked about it that I don't know if you can salvage the road trip, but there can be building blocks. Can't believe I'm already saying words moral victories, but win tonight. Hey, let's do it for Rico. I've said it repeatedly. With a win tonight, Stuart Skinner would have 100 in his career.
Really?
A couple games now.
Say that for game notes.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that one. Yeah, we'll have Louie DeBrusk on the show around 15 minutes from now. Tyler will be joining us from Toronto.
He's got to be so hung.
Yeah, he'll. I imagine he had himself quite the night last night. Obviously, the Toronto Blue Jays advanced to the World Series for the third or fourth time in their history. Eli, can we get confirmation on that?
First in our lifetime.
How many times have
that.
the Blue Jays been to the World Series? I think this is 3.
I think this is 3.
They've won twice. I know that.
2 for 2.
So
Back
first
to
time
back.
in like 30-something years. So congratulations to the Blue Jays. We'll save probably most of the Blue Jays talk when Tyler gets on because he was.
we can mention that was just.
Yeah, sure. Reese,
Springer dinger, absolute.
Do we have the video? Okay, let's get the video on.
The man's just got the clutch gene. He's got ice in his veins. You don't need 2 legs to hit dingers like this. I probably watched this at least 150 times in the last 12 hours since this went down. All of a sudden, he can run real fast. No problem right there. Knee's not an issue. Shout out to the guy who caught this ball.
Yeah.
What was he wearing, Liam?
He was wearing a Toronto Argonauts jersey, which was also a George Springer jersey.
It had his name on it. It had number 4. It was an incredible catch because he had his glove, but still got it with his bare hands somehow. This is a Canadian heritage moment through and through.
That jersey's got to be a 1 of 1.
Yeah, probably.
I cannot imagine that jersey is doing much else for anyone. It's probably like he has it. Maybe they get auctions some away, but I don't think people are really wearing them. But credit to that guy, and quite the snag too. He didn't just catch it; he had to
He fought for it with a group of people, and he nabbed it. I made the argument to you that you can't leave the building after that moment and that game with what's on the line there.
Yeah.
But part of me would be like, "Hey, security, please stand around me because this is my ball, and I'm leaving here with this ball."
Yeah. So great game by the Blue Jays. Pitching was really good. The bats were only really hot until this ending. I didn't catch all the game because I was watching my Detroit Lions
Dubs
beat up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I listened to it on the radio on the way to my soccer game yesterday, and I caught that moment on the radio. And hell of a call by Ben Sholmer. Have you ever listened on the radio? It's Dan Sholmer's son is the radio commentator. Yeah, so that's quite funny.
Keep it in the family. Let's go.
Yeah, the Sholmers are really giving in. Come on in, Jake.
Come on in.
You can't really peek around the door anymore because the door's just on the show now.
I have the most legitimate excuse of life.
Okay, were you at the game?
You're buying World Series tickets.
The Blue.
What happens when we have visitors in the office?
You gotta give them a tour.
What happens?
You got to talk to them, I guess.
You order Swiss Donair.
Oh, of course.
Our fine friends from out east to a lovely Donair.
Do you have more?
I did. I didn't. I Didn't know the head count. There is 2 extras.
Okay, good.
I see 2 guys right here.
There's 2 extras.
The pride of the North Side, Swiss Donair.
So
it's a bar.
Shout
in
out
the
Nick
ad
Crowley. He's in town from Toronto, helping set up the new studio for Ryder and Lisa.
Nice.
Don't know if anyone know this new show with Ryder and Lisa launching.
It looks nice.
Weeks.
Did you look at it down there?
It is looking very
That
sick.
table is nice.
That table, I'm gonna have to put that in my will. That table is so sexy.
Have you tried to lift it?
It's heavy.
It is built to last.
Yeah,
It is
sure is.
craftsmanship at its finest.
Yeah, it's a great piece of work.
Sorry, if I look comfy, it's because I'm reeling from eating and enjoying a Swiss Donair, and I also ate it in record time.
Right. That's efficiency. That's game day for you.
Yeah, it was so good.
We were just talking about the Blue Jays game quickly.
Oh, why? What happened?
They advanced to the World Series for either the 3rd or 4th time in their history.
Is this they're only 2 for 2? Have they only been to 2 World Series?
This
is
their
the
third.
first of my lifetime.
This
so
is
yeah.
the third because they won back-to-back in 92, 93.
I've listened to the Drake
Okay.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah, so pretty impressive.
yeah. Making the World Series is tough.
It really is.
Like it actually. It really
So
is.
much has to go right for you in 162 games plus playoffs. They were down 0-2 after losing at both games at home.
That's what's insane.
Like-
that's insane.
And then having to go to Seattle to win, well, at least 2 to keep it back going.
And
Or at least 1, I guess.
This opens up the debate of the 2-3-2 format.
What do you think? I don't like it.
I don't like it. I
It's
prefer
risky.
the other way.
It's risky.
Yeah.
Because you only get but I think it's riskier for the home team because the visiting team gets to have that 3-game reset. So if they
And you're much more likely to get a game.
Oh, I
You're going to
see.
get a game
like,
4. You're
imagine
going to get a game 5.
Yeah, because if you go split on the road and then you play 3 at home,
Yeah.
Jays went the opposite and
Yeah.
used it against them
Doesn't matter,
and won it the hard way. But they got their 2 games at home that they got to win.
I was
in
trying
front
to
of the home
think
crowd.
about it for the Oilers. Like, because they're, like, on the run last season, it didn't really matter for them at all. Like, home or road. They didn't have home ice advantage to the final. It was the only series they lost.
Yeah,
Because the argument is you lose a plane ride doing it the way the MLB does it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
like,
travel's difficult in the
you
MLB.
should argue the Edmonton Florida series should be a 2-3.
Yeah, you're
I
going
don't know
that
if I
far.
want it, but just because the travel's so intense.
That's true.
That's the most intense travel.
Beautiful part about the Jays, they have home field advantage against the Dodgers.
Well, also mind blowing.
Nuts.
Yeah, they beat the Dodgers in the regular season.
And I'm pretty sure they had a
Oh,
better
I
record.
thought it was tied to the All-Star game.
I think it used to
It
be
used
tied
to
to the
be.
All-Star
They
game.
got rid of that because they were
Okay.
like, "Oh, this is."
All right, Unk. Good call. Hey, shout out Unk.
George
Big
Springer.
Tater last night. I don't know if you saw that. George Springer.
I saw it. Reese, do we have the highlight again of George Springer?
I could
hitting
watch it
home
a
run?
million times. I already have. We'll continue to.
Like, just a
I said the man,
no-doubter.
he's on one leg, and he's finding a way to get this done.
The guy is a machine.
I believe in 2015, Batista also had 2 guys on base, and it was in the set bottom of the
So I
seventh.
was having a discussion in terms of, like, that's, like, obviously the Joe Carter, which you probably know who Joe Carter is.
We know.
With the game-winning home run that he had, is the most iconic Blue Jays home run, and then it was the Joey Bats bat flip, right? But that didn't take them to the World Series.
Yes.
Game 7.
So it's down a peg. It is George Springer on one leg, smoking one at the most crucial time. Vibes were low.
Vibes were low.
Vibes
Vibes
were
were very
low.
low. Vibes-
But they were building in this one, and it was similar actually to what would that have been? The Encarnacion home run against Baltimore in 2015 or whatever it was, too. Because
win.
Baltimore that year also didn't bring in their closer when they should have, just like Seattle didn't. It's just like, the game isn't that complicated. Bring in your best pitcher, get him through this inning that you have 2 guys on base for. Also, maybe walk George Springer. You got a base
But
open.
he was on one leg. He was on one leg.
Yeah,
he was
I
no
guess.
good the game before. Like but
Yeah,
once
I
again,
suppose.
he's got a bag of
Ice
trips.
in veins.
Just
Also,
didn't
shout out
feel
Kevin
it.
Gosman and
Oh.
Bassett for coming in huge innings.
He made
gosh.
it interesting. Like it was a lot more work than he was probably wanting to put in there, but he got it done.
The one pitch from, what was his name, Chris Bassett, was like, 70 miles per hour or something like that?
Right in the corner.
So it's probably tougher for those guys to throw it slow.
That's what Gosman was talking about. I'm used to having so much time to prepare before this, but I knew all day. I told him, I want the ball. Give me the ball. He's like, yeah, dude. In the playoffs, it is like, hey, are you good to go? Yeah, I'm good to go. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
I
Give me the
would
rock.
say Seattle was lucky, but after the Springer thing, like that Barger hit to first base was an absolute rocket.
Yeah.
Like
Naylor's in the right spot. He's in the perfect
off
spot.
the other way. Like, there's no way he's getting, like, it's just, that was so, and then Vladdy, like, that just had a little topspin on it. If there was no topspin on that, that thing was a line drive, like, through the wall of Rogers Center and into the lake.
Yeah. Extra bases for sure.
That's so hard. So anyways.
Tyler went to the game. He will come on before you have to leave, Jay, so we can talk a little bit more Blue Jays with him later on.
Cloud nine. What are you feeling this morning, though?
That video he posted yesterday of him and Hutz, that's, I made the joke that, remember like the MasterCard commercials, like, flight to go down there and all that. To watch that is absolutely priceless.
Yep.
That's why we love sports.
Truly.
They're officially bros.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Tyler and Hutz.
Yeah, that's a bonding experience.
Consummated the bromance.
There it is.
Yeah, just two little kids.
Two little kids, yeah.
One just happens to be a former NHL goaltender.
I wonder who paid for the tickets.
I hope Tyler did.
I bet they went 50-50.
Yeah,
Ty seemed pretty committed that he was going to
come all
do
the way
it.
from Thunder Bay.
It's a long way to go. Middle of
Big city.
nowhere. Big city. Okay, let's get into a quick lineup report. Brought to you by Aaron's pre-gaming show at Dog Patch tonight.
Hey, that's right. We're going to have an awesome time. Come on down. We're going to be doing them a lot here, I believe, throughout October and November. It's a much more chill atmosphere down here. I don't know if you've ever been to Dog Patch. It's down in the River Valley. The food is absolutely insane, and we got a lot of ice-cold Nation beer, everyday lagers. Bang, 2 ad reads in one. That's how you do that. It's going to be an awesome time. Me, Brett, I got Nation Dan with me this evening, so it's going to be a good one. And then keep it locked on our socials because we're going to be doing this a fair amount, and you can come hang out with me and Bert, enjoy some good food, drink a beer or two, and let's will this Oilers team to victory tonight because they need everything they can get from us.
Well, this is stemming from that community hang last year, that community event we did.
Dude, the one at Christmas.
That was the vibes.
We smoked the Minnesota Wild in that hockey game.
Yeah,
they did. That's right. 7-1, I think the final
We're 1
score
for 1
was.
here so far. So.
Travis Dermott's last game before he left. That's how I remember it.
Oh, wow.
Remember they
to Minnesota.
Yeah, because they injured Middleton that game, and they already had Brodeen out, so they had to pick him up. Then he ended up coming back, and I don't know if he reported. Either way, this is the Oilers lineup tonight. A couple of changes. Top line, Podkolzin, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. Second line, Mangiapane, Nugent Hopkins, Roslovic. Third line, Savoy, Philp, Frederick. Fourth line, Ike Howard with the 1,000 game man, Adam Henrique. More on him later. David Tomasek is back into the lineup with Kasperi Kapanen out. Reported he could be out for a few weeks, actually. So the Oilers get to keep kicking the can down the road with their roster issues.
You called that, Liam. You said this was going to happen, and it keeps happening.
Well, I wasn't expecting another injury, but I thought Regula was just going to go on IR, which he did. Blue line, Ekholm, Bouchard, Darnell Nurse, Jake Walman is back tonight. First game of the regular season. Brett Kulak with Ty Emerson. Stuart Skinner gets the start, so that means Troy Stetcher is out of the lineup.
Let's stick with the hot team, eh?
Hey, they're winning.
Let's just live in a fantasy
like
world of the Oilers or the Blue Jays.
Yes.
But David, you know a little George Springer in you right now.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the lineup, Jay?
Like, are they just putting Podkolzin in there to strengthen like a second, third line option? Because he's been okay.
I think they're getting him there
Are they trying to get him going?
I think they're trying to get someone to get the puck. I don't think Mangiapane did that very well. I don't think Frederick was that good at it either. You just know Pods is giving you 100% in that
We just miss Hyman, eh?
And I'm he's obviously an important player, but I'm surprised how much they miss him.
You know, and this may be something to bring up to Louie. We are struggling trying to find our identity right now, eh? Like you just don't know what you're watching.
Night in, night out, your stars aren't stars.
Yeah, it's just really weird, and we can say, yeah, sure, cup run hangover and whatnot, but like they're just like struggling to find out who they are right now, and it's very bizarre. Which, you know, is also can be viewed a positive because they will figure it out. But right now it's this weird purgatory.
Well, it's interesting because the first half of the Calgary game, they dominated. And then, obviously, they fell apart as the game went on. Multiple players did. And kind of a few lucky goals, I guess, for Calgary, too, a couple. Vancouver, they were great. They dominated them. The reason that wasn't like 7 or 8-0 was because of Thatcher Demko. And then New York was very flat. New York, the Rangers played well, and then the Islanders was terrible, and then the other 2 games were terrible. So they just had a really difficult time on the road trip, it felt like, which I thought was going to be a positive to them going on a long road trip to start the season.
It's like they all have mono.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah,
it has been reported, and once again, who knows? It is cold and flu season, so some boys might be.
In the preseason, they were
But
pretty
I
sick.
don't think that's an excuse for why you can't complete simple passes like out of your own zone. Like, and it isn't that they're missing by an inch or something. Sometimes it's by like a couple feet. It's just pucks jumping over sticks, and that's the thing. Like you mentioned that's not going to happen all season long. It's just very weird to see. You talk about they're struggling to have their identity. Their identity so far has been Stuart Skinner save some bacon, which is kind of wild to say.
Maybe Stu's the goalie we need. We just now we got to play in front of him.
We so I've changed my. I don't like save percentage, Jay.
Okay.
I think we've been through this before. If I remember.
Flawed stat.
Flawed stat
Tells you nothing.
tells me nothing. Tells me a little bit, but not enough. So I've made my Stuart Skinner quality start meter instead. So Reese, if we have the graphic from yesterday, the listeners voted on the fourth game. Which was
so it's by consensus.
Well, the first three were my consensus because I only brought it up yesterday, and I feel like they were pretty straightforward. Yes, in this scenario, yes.
And
And then
Tyler, this is your show.
Yes,
He's a true monarch.
But then yesterday, the listeners gave his game against the Detroit Red Wings a quality start by vote. I think it was like 250 votes, whatever. I disagree. I think it was a so-so start. But once Reese gets the graphic up, what did you make of Stuart Skinner against the Detroit Red Wings?
That's a good one. I wouldn't.
I don't think he was bad.
He wasn't bad. You can't say that
He's
game
not
was
the
on
reason
Stu.
they lost. He made some big saves early.
So if that is enough to warrant a quality start, because he wasn't the reason, then maybe
but
that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is.
Think about where we're coming from.
And I think that might be a reason why people put it that way. I think it was just like a very neutral. I don't think it was great. I don't think it was bad. So I gave it like so right now for me, it's two quality starts. Yeah, we're doing it off the Gladiator thing. So
there's no half. It's full. It's binary.
But we're actually, believe it or not, going to give it a both. This is what the graphic is going to be, is both of them. Okay. So
is this? Are you building this on the fly, or am I going to see this? The anticipation is killing me.
Trying to get things sorted out here. I'm
coming in off a high of having delicious Swiss donair, and now you're killing my buzz here, bro.
There it is. All right. There it is. So this is my meter. We'll have the listeners' meter as well. But a thumbs down for Calgary, the obvious mistake.
Peep the photo
Rangers
as well.
shutout, 4-2 loss against the Islanders. But he was good. I thought he did well. So against the Rangers. I think that's a decent measuring stick so far for what Skinner's been this season.
Okay.
Yeah,
I won't disagree.
It's been a big positive, I think it's fair to say.
Oh,
in a sea of negativity.
In a sea of many negativities. Okay, let's get out to our first guest of the day. Louis DeBrusk's appearances are brought to you by Sports Closet. As we mentioned off the top, you can go and check out that newly renovated location down at the Kingsway Mall. Like Aaron said, maybe you can get some nice Blue Jays gear as well.
World Series merch. Those hats look dope.
Yeah, could be worse things to buy nowadays. Got to celebrate them. So, welcome into the show, Louis DeBrusk. Louis, how are you doing out in Ottawa? Oh. All right, let's go back and over his reselling it for a second here, Reese. We'll wait for Louis.
That's that nation's capital internet right there.
Yeah, you think they'd have it pretty good out there. Quickly, then, let's go to the Ottawa Senators lines whilst we wait for Louis to connect here. They did make a roster move yesterday, sending down Arthur Kaliev to Belleville.
Wow.
Belleville, yeah. Obviously, former LA King, and also from Uzbekistan. The only Uzbekistanian player to play in the NHL. Top line, Tim Stützle, Dylan Cousins, Drake Batherson, Mike Amadio, is that his name?
Amadio.
Shane Pinto, I believe they're trying to figure out what to do with his contract for next
Well, if he keeps scoring goals like this, they're going to have to buck up and pay him.
Yeah, but they should probably wait.
Yeah.
Wait for him to cool off.
We've proven that waiting is good.
Yeah, it's the way to go. Claude Giroux on the right wing there on the second line. Third line, Nick Cousins, Ridley Gregg, former Oiler David Perron, McDermid. Terrible at names. Curtis McDermid.
Curtis McDermott.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, McDermott.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
that's why we got to practice these before
glad
we
he's
go.
in the lineup tonight. Lars Eller and Fabian Zetterlund. Blue line, Jake Sanderson, Zub Shabbat, Nick Jensen, Clevin, and Jordan Spence, the former LA King. Thoughts on the lineup, Aaron?
They're missing one big name, and that is obviously their leader, their captain in one, Brady Tkachuk. He's going to be out, I think it's 6 to 8 weeks. It's either a hand or a wrist injury. So this team, the Sens, they kind of feel like they're reeling right now. Even I know start to the year, Linus Ullmark wasn't maybe playing up to par that he would like. This is a very winnable game for the Edmonton Oilers. However, I said that about the New York Islanders. I said that about... maybe not the Devils as much as the Red Wings. Also, Red Wings kind of sneaky good. I don't know if I'm willing to say that yet, but this is a team. They still got plenty of skill. Shane Pinto is red hot to start the season. So he'll pick up the goal-scoring slack left by Brady Tkachuk, but you're down your leader. It's the end of the road trip for the Edmonton Oilers. It's your so cliche, but empty the tank here because this has been...
They need a W.
This has been tough
to watch. They're wearing Rico shirts. They're Rico Racing shirts.
Yeah, it's true. They have those, and they had the aloe sweatsuits, some of them on top. Jay, can we get aloe sweatsuits for the company?
We can
go to Sports Closet.
I can get you Joe Fresh sweatsuits.
I'm in.
Perfect.
I'm in.
I love Joe Fresh.
Linus Ullmark, the confirmed starter tonight as well for the Ottawa Senators. He has an .848 save percentage on the season and a .399 goals against average. Matthias Janmark put in the chat, the Oilers are going to need 5 to win tonight. More on that later. But first, let's go out to Louie DeBrusk. Is ready to go, Reese? Okay, let's get out to the guest line. Hello, Louie. How you doing?
Got you this time, boys. Jumped on the Wi-Fi. We're in lovely Canada, Ontario here, so maybe service not the greatest out here by Canadian Tire Center. So I hope you guys can hear me now.
Yeah, it's all good. We were actually just joking.
Okay.
You'd think they'd have good Wi-Fi out in the nation's capital.
I agree, but it's not great. It's a little sketchy right here where we are. We're a little bit off the beaten path here. That's Canada. That's where the rink is, and there's been lots of discussions about that over the years. Beautiful arena, though, by the way. We went to practice yesterday, went to morning skates this morning. It's a great rink. You know, you sit there and you go, yeah, this is it's got a great hockey vibe in that arena. Should be an exciting atmosphere in there tonight. 2 Canadian teams going at it, only see each other twice a year. 2 teams that are looking for a win and motivated. So I expect it to be a fast, skilled, hard game. And both teams right now, quite frankly, are talking about the same things. Cleaning up a loose game, taking some risk out of their respective games and trying to play a little bit more north and south. So I expect 2 teams that understand they're going up against dangerous opponent and need to make sure they're playing their game to be successful in this game tonight.
Yes, I mean, it's been a difficult last few games for the Oilers. Obviously, we were talking before you got on. Like, there's just not been a lot of fluidity. It seems like they're just so disconnected at the moment. But big guy coming back tonight, Jake Walman, making his regular season debut for the Oilers this season. What kind of impact do you think he'll have? And also, too, like, what do you think he can do for Darnell Nurse, another player who's kind of struggled the last few games?
Well, you hope he steps in and adds a boost, right? I know that's what Chris Knobloch said this morning in his presser, but you know, I look at Jake Walman and the way he came in on board last year at the end of the year, down the stretch drive into the playoffs, the drive to the Stanley Cup final again. He really was able to find his way in the lineup, and there were certain games where he was excellent. He was outstanding. Could argue he was the best defenseman on the ice. So got the long-term extension by the Oilers for a reason. They're expecting him to come in and do what he does, play heavy minutes. He's peaking right at the right time, I think, in his age, in his maturity as a player. Unfortunately, got banged up a little bit in training camp, wasn't able to start the season. But he's excited to get in there, and he should be, because the team, quite frankly, needs him. They need more from the back end. They need more from everybody. I'm not putting it on the back end, but you're trying to find those pairs. You're trying to find the combinations that you can put out there and you feel comfortable. And quite frankly, they feel good playing together. He's going to play the right side tonight. We've seen him do that before. With Darnell Nurse, you've got 2 veteran guys there that know how to play the game. So settle things down, play a mature game. The thing for Walman, for me, is his skating. He's an excellent skater. He's 220 pounds. He's not a little individual, but he's an excellent skater. So a big guy that can skate, that can transport the puck up, number one, but can move the puck as well. He's that first pass guy. He's going to be looking up the ice to get the puck into the forward's hands, and that's something that Edmonton's really had a hard time with in the last few games. They've dealt with a lot of pressure. They've dealt with teams that have closed on them quickly, and they haven't dealt with it very well. And I think that's a combination of a few things. 2, the most important, I think, moving the feet to get yourself into an open lane, and secondly, The connection between the defensemen and the forwards just hasn't been there. There hasn't been a lot of connection all over the ice between everybody. It needs to be tighter, it needs to be smoother, and it needs to be more commitment from everybody involved to make sure you're in a position to receive a pass. And then you can look at the defenseman. If they don't want to give you that puck, then you can say, hey, you need to move that puck up the ice. But we showed a clip the other night where Detroit was doing a great job in their formation coming in and taking away options in the neutral zone. And, I think that there's a patience, if you want to call it that, with Edmonton right now, where they're looking to make that perfect play, and it's just not there sometimes. And I think if you hold on to it too long right now at the start of the year where you're not quite as dialed in as you should be, things aren't crisp tape to tape, there's still a little bit of feeling out with some of the juggling of the lines and combinations, they're getting picked off. I know I heard you guys earlier talk about how many passes and attempted passes are getting knocked down with sticks. They're hitting the skate. They're just a little bit off with their sink. So what do? You simplify. You simplify things. Forwards have to do a better job of punching into the lanes, showing themselves, giving that stick to put a pass onto. And for defensemen, if that option's there, take it. Because if you don't take it right away, it's going away pretty quickly.
How are the players' spirits? They're on a 3-game slide. Kind of we thought it was a hot start to the season, is turning now into a slow start to the season. How are they? How are they feeling? How are they talking? What's their energy levels like?
As you would expect. What there's dog days all throughout the NHL season. It's a journey. It's a marathon. There's some at the start. There's some midway. There's some at different times. And there's certainly quite a bit at the end when you're just trying to wrap up a season, respectively, whether you're outside looking in or you're inside looking out and you're trying to find your seeding, or your seeding and you're just trying to stay healthy getting into the playoffs. It's one of those right now. I see a team that understands and knows they have to be better. I think the Stars have said it best. Connor McDavid after the New Jersey game and Leon Draisaitl after the Detroit game. It starts with them. They know it. They haven't been themselves. They haven't been as dominant and as dangerous as we're used to seeing them when they play together. They know it more than anybody. It's just a feel. And quite frankly, I think it's kind of, I'll give you an example of me, how I look at it anyway. I haven't been in the gym for a while. I was hunting, trekking after elk, chasing elk in the mountains, so I was kind of keeping active. But I haven't.
That's like
been
a
in the
Rocky
gym.
IV type workout, Louis.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he goes into Russian, goes into the hills, right? That's kind of what it was. But here's the thing. When you need to get back into the gym, it's about getting yourself in there for that first time. It's about making the mental commitment to say, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to work out. And once you start, you can start to build on that start. I don't know if Edmonton's really dug in yet and started the season. I don't mean that disrespectfully. We've seen this for 2 years in a row coming into this year, the hangover effect. This is a team that knows it's 82 games long. They understand they're a good team, but it's like they're looking at the hill to climb the mountain, and it's like, I got to start this. And the start is always the worst. Until you prime the body and get yourself kind of motivated and get going, it becomes your normal day-to-day. It hasn't become the normal day-to-day yet with the Oilers. But what we did see in the third period against Detroit, for me, was the best period since the first 2 games. And I think that's kind of where it's going. I think they're getting to that stage now where they're like, okay, enough's enough here. We got to start being more committed. We have to start moving our feet. And for me, that's where it starts. They need to start winning more puck battles. They need to start moving the feet a little quicker. If your feet are moving, you're jumping into lanes, you're supporting better, and you're more connected. And that's the one word that they've thrown around quite a bit in the last little while is they're just not connected. But they don't feel good about it. They understand it's the start of the season. They're not panicking. I know a lot of people are, but they're not. They're not panicking. They've been here before. I see a fairly relaxed group. Watched them in the skate today. There was a good jump this morning. I expect them to come out and try and build on what they did in the third period. Didn't work out. They weren't able to come back and tie that game and win it. But you know what? I like the fact that they started to put shift after shift in succession and at least get a little connected in that regard. Because we've seen so much where one line goes out there, has a pretty good shift, and then it's just not followed up. That it just dies again. Where in Detroit, you started to see them really run and gun. I mean, there was 14 minutes and no whistles in the third period, and it was a little bit run and gun. But they could have easily tied it up. A little blunder, a little bobble by Draisaitl on the breakaway, which, I mean, you can count on one hand, in my opinion, in his whole career in a dangerous position like that all alone where he's bobbling the puck. But that's what's going on right now with Edmonton. Those are the bounces they're not getting. That's the thing that's happening. If he's going to be negative right now, this is a team that's had a lot of success. And they're going to have to fight, just like every other team, to regain that identity as being one of the best teams in the league. Because every team that's coming to play them, every building they go into, trust me, they're more ready than ever to play them.
You talk about the simplicity that they need in their game, and I think in the third period, they had some of that. And I even think, furthermore, the Pods play shooting it on net, Noah Philp tips it in pass. That was a simple play, and I think that may have even sparked a little bit of that going on. But Philpy's a young guy. He's looking good. I want to ask about a different young guy and one, Matt Savoy. We are a very pro Matt Savoy podcast here. I host a pre and post games, and while he's 6 games into the season, he has 0 points. The box score hunters, they're out, Louie, on the post games. I think he's been fantastic. I think he's looked everything that you'd want of a young player playing PK. Now PP1 for the Edmonton Oilers with no Tommy Smokes up there on the top power play. I'm curious your thoughts. That's also what I call David Tomasek, Tommy Smokes. Feel free to use that on the broadcast later. But I'm curious your Tommy thoughts Smokes on Matt Savoy. What have you thought through 6 games? Should he maybe be getting a shot higher up the lineup? I know it's going to be Pod Colson this evening with Connor and Leon, but what have you thought about Matt Savoy?
I agree with you. I think the other things he's doing, I know he hasn't put up points, and that's going to be frustrating for him because he's an offensive player, right? But the other things that he's doing them excellent. Not just good, he's doing them great. Excellent on the penalty kill, using his speed, using his smarts to kill penalties. He's made very good decisions with the puck in the defensive zone to not be a liability. So he's doing all the things that a coach loves to see from a young player, to allow him to stay in the lineup when he's not producing. If he's turning the puck over, if he's creating bad situations on the ice and he's just not getting the job done in battles and penalty kill, then where do you put him in the lineup if you don't put him in the top 6 or up the lineup? I think there's 2 things, though. I think early on, putting Draisaitl and McDavid together, I know they've given both Isaac, but more Savoy, a couple of shifts up the lineup in the third period. He rang the bar in New York. I thought he was going to bury that one. That was a great release. I know that it's coming, so I'm not worried about Savoy at all. And I think he's earned himself the right to be in the lineup. He's earned himself the right to have a spot because he's showing that he can play down the lineup. And I don't think they wanted to put the pressure on Howard and on Savoy to go up the lineup and have what's happening right now, let's say, where maybe the offense isn't really there 5-on-5 and there's not the clicking going on. Eventually, I think he will see time with one of those guys, and I think he will. We saw it last year. I thought Podkolzin and Draisaitl and him, when they played together last year, was a real solid line. I thought they made good plays, and he could have easily had a few points instead of just an assist. I think he could have had a couple of goals easy. I think he gets to the spot he needs to get to. But right now he's working on other aspects of his game, so I think that's fine. He is off the top power play unit, it looks like this morning. It looks like Tomasek and Tommy Smokes is going to go back on that top unit. A little more size there. The PK has struggled a little bit for Ottawa on the power play, quite frankly. Just hasn't really felt like it's got that mojo that we're used to seeing with it. Again, starts with the big guys. They're fighting the puck a little bit, admittedly so. They took it on themselves to say, hey, I've got to be better. I got to get things going. But I'm certainly not just going to put it on the big guys. It's on everybody. Everybody has to be a little bit better. Everybody has to be a little bit cleaner. And it's a work in progress. And I think if they just dig in a little bit that way, be a little more assertive. Brady Tkachuk's out of the lineup for this Ottawa team. He's the heart and soul of the team. They've shuffled their lines around a little bit to try and go up against Edmonton tonight. It'll be a good one. I think it's an opportunity, as we've talked about, for them to go and try and build on what they did in the third period, because I did like what they did, and I really thought they were going to tie it. When I saw Draisaitl in alone, I was like, this game's tied. Like, you screwed up, Detroit. You've allowed these guys back in the game. It just didn't work out that way. But I'd like to see it out of the gates. I'd like to see a first period similar to what we saw in Game 1 and 2. You know, Game 2 first period, they probably should have had 4 or 5 goals easy if it wasn't for Thatcher Demko. Truthfully, they were outstanding. The power play was snapping around. They were getting high-quality chances. I'd like to see a little bit of that assertiveness tonight and try and build on a long road trip, a hard start to the season in that regard. Hasn't gone their way. Tonight's an opportunity for them to build some momentum moving forward back for a one-off at home, which is really a continuation of the road trip against Montreal on Thursday, and then Seattle, Vancouver on the weekend. So It's a little bit of a grind right now. They know it, and I can see they're feeling that a little bit. We as the commentators are feeling it a little bit, so they're definitely feeling it way more than we are because they're going out there and putting the effort in every night. And that's just the NHL season with an Olympic year.
News this morning that Kasperi Kapanen is going to be out of the lineup for a bit of time here. Did you see what happened to him? It kind of just seemed like nothing really went down, and all of a sudden he was gone.
Yeah, he was on the forecheck, and he tried to lay the body on Bernard Docker, I believe it was. I think it was Bernard Docker. I'm looking back in my notes. It was Bernard Docker. It was also, or either a forward. It could have been Branzig Nygaard. One of the forwards, could have been 28. It was a right-handed shot back. I thought it was Bernard Docker, if I'm remembering right. And just as he was coming in the forecheck to lay the hit, Docker slammed the brakes a little bit, slowed up. So he went full force into the boards. Gotcha. So thinking you're going to hit body and then you hit the lower part of the boards. I thought hip flexor, when I first looked at it, hip pointers, back in the day, we talked about hip pointers. We didn't have the padding necessary they have today. You hit the hip ball right on that board. It's a terrible injury because it's debilitating. He's got a brace on the knee. I don't know if he hit the side of his leg, if it's a quad, if it's side of the leg, if it's IT band. It's something lower body. We know it's a lower body. Full force, though. He didn't slow down on that hit. He was having a real strong start to the season. It's unfortunate. I thought he came in looking like one of the guys that was committed to having a strong season. There's some motivation there for him. He's getting later in his career. He's bounced around a little bit. He looked like he was in tremendous shape. Really unfortunate because I think he was kind of a guy that's really important up and down the lineup. And the guys seem to really like him. So I think it's unfortunate that happens in the game, but it was because he went in to try and lay a big hit, which I think is another area that they could probably get a little bit elevated in. Oh. I think they could start to take the body a little more. And I know people are going to go, it's DeBrusk, the physicality. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. When shit's not going your way, seriously, what do you have to do to get a hit? What's the one thing you got to do to hit someone in the National Hockey League? Move your damn feet. Because if you don't move your feet, you're not hitting anybody in this league, let alone in Pee-wee or midget. Sorry, it's not happening. Because people are going to move out of the way. You got to move your feet and drive to get to that hit. I'm not talking about putting people through the glass. Do if you want, great. But it gets you into the game. It gets you moving your feet. It keeps the other team on the edge. It makes them hear footsteps. Maybe they turn the puck over a little bit more, and then you start to navigate with the puck and make plays. Start with the basics. Get to the skill stuff after, because the skill stuff right now just isn't working. And the teams that are coming in and working a little bit harder are giving them a really hard time. So I know they're trying. I know in their mind, there's just not a connection between the feet and the mind right now. I think they understand that these guys are all pros. They've been on long runs. They get it. It's just a matter of putting it forward. So I'd like to see that happen a little bit more. A little more drive on the forecheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. Louis, have a great call tonight. Appreciate you taking the time with us, and enjoy your flight back to Edmonton for a couple of days.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. Will do.
See you
all
later.
Right.
Hi, Louis.
There you go. Louis DeBrusk on the Sports Closet
guest line.
For now. We'll be joined by Tyler in 10 minutes here as he's out in Toronto. But first, let's get into...
First off, my question. Do you think he liked Tommy Smokes?
I think he does. Well, the fact that he used it.
He used it.
I can see him
my
using it on
ears are going to be glued
broadcast.
to that TV today, being like, if he says it, I'm going nuts.
I can see him using it.
I think we're going to find out tonight.
Please.
He says Tommy Smokes.
Especially if he hits someone.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
if he Tommy Smokes
He'll
someone?
be like, the streets are calling him Tommy Smokes.
There's a guy who maybe I could use some physicality from that he's kind of mentioning right there.
Tommy
Fourth
Smokes.
line, Tommy Smokes tonight.
We just need to.
bring
I'm
it.
glad he called that out because we are not hitting at all.
Yeah, I don't have expectations for Tomasek to do that. He said in an interview in the preseason, he's like, the Swedish league just isn't physical. Because if you're physical in that league, you're so out of position because the ice is so big.
But it's
so I
known
think
as
he's
like
adjusted.
You're playing in the National League now, brother.
Well,
and
yeah,
we do
the
hit.
SHL is like known as like an open ice hitting league, though, right? And
Yeah,
there's like
not
all
a
these
lot of board
protections.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to see that from Podkolzin, which I know we're going to get. Mangiapane roughed it up a little bit in the third period, but honestly, like when he started to do it, I kind of forgot that was part of the game. because we just haven't seen it at all from the Oilers. Like
it did stick out when Mangiapane was doing it.
Well,
you mentioned it at the start of the season, and I disagreed because I thought there was examples to prove otherwise. But now they've hit like a bit of adversity, and it's just been nothing.
Maybe some cocky Jake Walman. He was chirping good in the NHL playoffs. Maybe we can bring some of that energy from the back end.
Swag.
We need
swag.
We need some of that.
I'm hoping these tracksuits and these Rico shirts, like they're doing some of the things to create some swag. Now
that's
they gotta
team bonding.
Act it.
Yes,
act it on the ice.
Tyler's going to join us here in probably 8 minutes or so, I would say. So let's get into some game notes before he comes. For Odd Company Nation Beer, you can check out their 2 locations, a Ritchie location and a downtown location too. So grab some Nation Beer Everyday Lager. It is the best. And if you're coming to Dog Punch tonight too,
there's going to be plenty. Perfect for game day. Perfect for every day, baby.
There you go. First game note tonight. Adam Henrique's 1000th game, and the team wore custom shirts for him. Do you have any thoughts on the shirts? They were like NASCAR shirts, inspired by NASCAR.
Yeah, they're racing shirts. I want to know why racing shirts.
I would assume he loves NASCAR.
Yeah, well, it had Red Bull, so then it makes me think F1.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did have Red Bull.
He is like the Oilers are even posting like the Red Bull here. This is
so I'm just wondering if he is a big F1 guy, or Rico Fast.
That's just a handsome looking man.
He looks like he's on his way to steal your girl.
Yeah, I might. And I mean, we'll get into it later with your daily bets, but Rico's calling names.
Here's a fun fact, and this was surprising to me. Adam Henrique is the first player in Oilers history to play his 1000th game as an Oiler. Doesn't that seem mind-blowing? I know like a lot of guys have left, but I just feel like surely there was one.
I believe Jack Michaels.
Yeah, Jack Michaels tweeted out he is the first player in team history to play in his 1000th game as an Oiler.
And just for how long this franchise has existed.
And the great players that have come through.
That feels wild. And guys who have stayed for,
You'd think
feel
they
like
would
a long time,
stumble across a guy that's played like 970 and
some guy we signed at the deadline at 995 and
yeah, it's interesting. The next guy, trivia question, the next player will be
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yes, on New Year's Eve. Things got a plan to Nugent play his 1000th game.
And
all with the Oilers. And he would be the first player, I guess, to play 1,000 with the team.
965 career games for the Nuge.
How many points does he have?
754.
Efficient.
Pretty good.
Hey.
Pretty good.
Please.
A couple more game notes on the Ottawa Senators, which should give you some hope for tonight. It made me rethink my daily bets a little bit. The Ottawa Senators are averaging 3.17 goals for per game, which is fine. 11th in the NHL. Above average, we'll call it. However, they are averaging a league worst 5 goals a game. And these are the teams they've faced so far this season. Against. The Florida Panthers, a banged-up Florida team, but that was to start the season.
Smashed you over.
Nashville, Buffalo, Seattle, and the Islanders, and they've allowed 4 goals or more in every game. Isn't it crazy?
Entertaining hockey.
It might be some up and down. There might be some pucks. Is the over 6.5? It is 6.
It should be over 9.5.
It's over 6 minus 105. Whoa.
I'm very surprised.
Got to adjust the bankroll. Got to adjust the bankroll here.
Well, Ottawa is supposed to be a team that was, they obviously took a step last season. I think people thought they were going to take an even bigger step and maybe push for second in the Atlantic Division, but it's just not gone that way. Obviously, Brady Tkachuk out of the lineup. And Aaron, Reese, if you can pull up the lines again for us for the Ottawa Senators. I think when you look at it too, like Brady Tkachuk being out has pushed a lot of guys up the lineup who just like don't deserve to be there. Like Michael Amadio, Nick Cousins, good NHL players, but if you have Nick Cousins on your third line,
he should be nowhere but your fourth line.
Yeah, like he was a healthy scratch for Florida for many years, and now he's playing on the third line against them. Obviously, the blue line there is pretty solid blue line. Again, it's Sanderson, Zub, Shabbat, Jensen, Clevin, who is a prospect of theirs, and I misread it before. It's not Jordan Spence. It's Nicholas Mantipola, who was the player who was eventually called to Finland for the Four Nations because they ran out of players. Ooh. He was the guy. He was, I believe, their second last defenseman.
He was available.
Had available to them. But what do you make of the lineup, Aaron? And where can the Oilers exploit them a little bit?
So I'm a fan of it. I always have been. Like when I look down the spine of that Ottawa Senators team, Dylan Cousins, Pinto, Greg, Lars Eller. Like, that is something. So they might be able to run the middle of the ice. I don't want to. I've said it too many times on pregame shows where I eat my words later. The Oilers should win this hockey game when you're looking at Michael Amadio on the second line and all this.
I think they are too.
They're winning this game.
I've just been burned too many times, especially recently on this road trip. So hopefully they can empty the tank here. It's a solid NHL roster. I don't think that is anything to write home about, would be my argument.
No, I would agree. The Sens they've played 3 games at home. They have won once at home so far. They have a 2-4-0 record in 6 games.
And once again, Linus Ullmark, .848 save percentage, which doesn't totally mean everything,
nothing,
but
right?
he hasn't looked that good. I went and watched some videos last night trying to get prep for pregame, and he has not looked good.
No quality starts for Linus Ullmark.
All down?
All down.
All thumbs down?
I would
Reese
double
graphic.
down on that one. Yeah, so there you go. The Ottawa Senators have been struggling big time. And I just think what Louis said there too is like, you did see a little bit of life in the third period against the Detroit Red Wings to like push it. And like they had the breakaway and it was just like a bit unfortunate, but you almost hope that was the game where it's like, okay, guys, like we showed what we can actually do towards the end of the game. The games have been so bland, though, and they just need, I feel like the physicality, like you said, is just something they need to really push to give themselves some energy.
I think we finally saw some urgency from the Oilers in the third period of enough of, they look frustrated. Connor and Leon just don't look like they're having any fun to start the season so far. They look like they're not having a good time out there, but in the third period, it kind of seemed like enough is enough here. And you even saw Connor McDavid starting to rip the puck on net a little bit more. I don't want to rehash that because I think Connor McDavid knows what to do. He doesn't need to hear me tell him to shoot the hockey puck, but when you are struggling to make passes, things are bouncing all over the place. Like on the Noah Philp goal, Pods is straddled along the blue line, and he just says, okay, I'm going to throw this on net. Dangerous area. Good thing happens. I think that's something when you're struggling on a roadie. Oilers hopefully keep that rolling again here. And maybe there has been a theme recently. Stuart Skinner has to save the Oilers' bacon in like the first 2 or 3 minutes of the hockey game. They turn something over in their own end. Stu's been up to the task thus far.
When we turn something over.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there it is.
I
But
think,
don't do that.
am I wrong in thinking the Oilers have only allowed 1 goal in the first period to start the season? I think against the Islanders with Bouchard's
I feel like you're
turnover,
close.
that was
They've been pretty
only game.
scoreless.
I think. Maybe bet the under in the first period.
No, bet the over.
Bet the over? The Oilers over. Tyler asked if his regular link would work.
Yeah, I believe it should.
Okay, so he's here. Tyler's here, right, Reese? Okay, let's get over to our friend Tyler on the Star Mechanical guest line. Star Mechanical is one of Edmonton's biggest locally owned and operated plumbing and heating businesses. They have been working within the community for over 20 years, and many of the homes built in Edmonton over the past 2 decades have had their plumbing and heating systems installed by Star Mechanical. Visit them at starmechanical.ca to schedule an appointment and let them keep your home running smoothly. Let's oh, wow, you are
geez.
close.
Yeah,
really? Could you not see what was going on? Uh-oh.
Oh, we can't hear
No,
you.
we can't hear you. 1 second. Is that you? We're going to pretend it's out. Well, let's go out, Reese, and we'll bring him back in a second.
Nothing.
Here.
Maybe just reconnect. Maybe
It's
just
nice
reconnect.
to see you.
Yeah, you look good. You don't look as hungover as I thought he'd be. So, yeah, there we go.
He's
Well,
good
it
at
is
masking it.
Yeah, I guess
3
you're right.
p.m.
Yeah, you're
so he's
right.
probably had a Caesar.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got to have one to take off the edge in the morning. Is that his end, Reese, or do you think it's on us?
See if look at his
Always
audio
blame
levels.
Tyler.
If
Yeah,
he's
it's
setting
gotta be.
audio levels.
Tyler's
Always blame Tyler.
fault. There was a bit of news, Jay, earlier in the week, and we'll ask you about it here quickly.
Check.
Oh, there he is. I think we got him.
Check.
Let's bring him back in. It sounds like he's checking his
Finish
microphone.
your question.
Well, we
I'm
can
curious.
ask Tyler as well, because this
Oh.
was going to be one of my questions. The Oilers are going to have to probably move Janmark or Emberson when everything's done. So, if you had to pick one or the other to move on from, I believe the cap hit
The
difference.
Sophie's choice. This is what you're trying to. This is your dream question.
Who are
You
you
guys have been salivating to ask this.
Who are you moving? The young up-and-coming defenseman?
Yeah,
or
there it is, yeah.
or the overpaid veteran forward who hasn't produced
but we
for
like
years?
him. But we like him. We're not haters. We're not haters.
Palpatine with the do it. Say it. Say it.
Oh man.
Jay, come on, just say it.
I think for cap implications, right? Because what's Emerson?
1.3. Emberson.
So they're both 1.3?
No, not Kapanen. Kapanen is 1.3. Janmark is 1.45.
And Emberson is 1.3?
Yep.
Aren't they going to be fine with Kapanen on LTIR?
But that's not part of the question.
Yeah, he wants me to say it. I'm not saying anything. We don't need to move anything right now. Ask me when we need to make a move.
Okay, I'll ask you. It was just reported. I was just reading the news.
Yeah.
Tyler, how you doing?
And they reported it that way?
They did.
With
they
all
said
that backhanded slight.
That's okay. He won't see it anyway. Tyler, how's Toronto?
Why can't he see it?
Do you want me to say it?
What?
You don't know?
What?
About Matthias Janmark?
He's blind?
He's blinded
Kind
us.
of.
To us, I guess is the right way to say it.
What?
We'll fill you in post-show.
Off-air
We'll fill you in.
conversation.
I'll type it out.
Ty, how's Toronto? How you doing? How was the game yesterday?
How do you think the game was yesterday? Oh my God, that was electric. That was one of the best sporting events I've ever been to in my life. That building it was so quiet for honestly, the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and then leading into the seventh, you could hear a pin drop in that place. And then that Springer home run just changed everything, man. It was unreal. My friend Carter Hutton introduced me to a new line. We were walking into a bar, and I was like, Huts, we got to work tomorrow morning. We're also going to drive race cars in the afternoon. We can't get too crazy. He goes, yeah, we'll just go in. We'll do one. And he goes, well, no, we'll do this one more, and another. Then we're done. Then that's the night. So I like that line. This one more, and another. And yeah, I'm paying for it today.
That's how it's like negotiating with Crawford with how many Paw Patrols she can watch. She pulls out her fingers. And she's like, I'd like to watch this one and then this one. And I'm like, okay, we'll do this many. And then those two end. And then she's like, okay, but I want this one and this one.
Tyler, my question to you is, did you and Huts immediately become best friends? Because when you experience something like that at a game like that, let alone the strangers around your seats, you become BFF. But your new co-host on DFL, that's an all-time thing to start the season.
Yeah, and Huts and I, we've worked together a little bit in the past. Now we've been doing Daily Face-Off Live together for almost a month, but we've never met each other in person before. So this has been a cool experience of what a way to just dive into the deep end of a friendship, right? We meet and 3 hours later we're at Game 7 of the ALCS, and he was stress drinking beers. He was nervous and they were just sliding down for him. So he was in a good headspace last night. So yeah, we immediately became best friends. We're having a great time. And today though, again, hungover, not doing well, and you need to go. I was in a car with a professional driver going 180 kilometers an hour, around turns. And then we did 2 laps and I was like, hey man, 2's good for me. I'm going to throw up. So just let me off at the next stop. I'm done.
Just tough day in Toronto, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Oilers following a playoff win, or Blue Jays following a playoff win? Which vibe was better? A little bit different.
Winning Game 7 to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, or
winning
Game 7 World
winning
Series.
Game 6, going to the Stanley Cup Finals against Dallas, or this one against the Blue Jays.
Honestly, pretty similar. I will say though, the vibe in the arena, it's hard to match what we have in Edmonton. Even the pregame and all that. The crowd in Toronto was amazing, and everyone was going nuts. And the cool thing was everyone stayed in their seats for half an hour after the game while they were doing all the presentations. But I think we're really spoiled in Edmonton, the way that they do their pregame, the game ops, and I also think the crowd, again, it's less people, but in a smaller building. The pregame in Edmonton is insane. And then afterwards, being on the street last night, it was absolute mayhem. I couldn't imagine being someone who was in a car last night in Toronto trying to get somewhere. You just wouldn't have been able to do it. But I do think in arena experience, man, it's hard to top an Oilers playoff game. But last night was probably about as close as you can get.
I think if you're in a car downtown Toronto during a Game 7, close to the end,
you're asking for trouble.
You just don't. You've made a terrible decision.
It doesn't even need to be Game 7. It just needs to be Sunday at 5 a.m.
No game.
The worst time. It's still a shit show.
So walk me through the World Series a little bit here. They're obviously playing the Dodgers, who just pay their way to victory, I guess people are saying. What are the chances? What are we looking at?
Give it to me straight, Doc. Give it to me straight.
If the Blue Jays win this series, it will probably be the most stunning result in World Series history. There's no other way to put it. This is a team who, when you consider the deferred money, have a payroll of $500 million. no one's on their level. They're a super team. They basically intentionally keep pitchers in like their training facility for the first half of the season so their arms can be more fresh for October. So the only reason I got some optimism is because the series starts in Toronto. So like, you never know. You have home field advantage, and the Jays are a really, really good home team. So it's not good. I don't even know. Like, have you guys looked? What does Bet365 have them at? Like, the Jays are probably heavy
-2 something.
Or
sorry, Dodgers are -2 something.
Yeah.
Plus 180 to win the series for the Blue Jays.
What are the Dodgers?
Minus 220.
That seems big.
Yeah, that's a big gap. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, I mean, Cup final wise, like the Oilers and Panthers both years were like pretty close to a pick 'em, were they not?
Last year, yeah, I think so. I think the Oilers were even the favorites last year, but it was like minus 120 to 100. There goes Jay.
Oh, bye, Jay.
Bye.
Tyler, do you like the 2-3-2 or do you like 2-2-1-1-1? I'm curious because obviously, like, that just logically takes a one less plane ride, I do believe. But I don't know. What do you think? It worked out for the Blue Jays here in this last series, but I don't know if I'm in support of it.
I think, like, in hockey, I wouldn't like it. But in baseball, it creates scenarios that are more true to what the regular season is, right? Like in baseball, you go fly to a city, you play a team 3 straight games, and that's kind of that is what you do the whole season. So for your playoff series to have like a 2-game series, and then you got to fly somewhere for 3 games, and then the home field advantage of, game 6 and 7 are both in your backyard and both in your field. I think it's fine for baseball, but if hockey did it, I'd say it's probably dumb. And I wouldn't like it.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. Aaron, you're going to sub out for Jay for a second because then we're going to do our daily bets challenge because that camera just died and Jay needs to go on camera.
I think they could use me behind the scenes right now.
We'll do this really quickly and then Jay, you can go off.
I can leave.
You can really leave this time. So
hands in, break.
Let's do our daily bets here brought to you by Bet365. Obviously, never ordinary at Bet365. You can download the app today and place your bets. Big game right away for the Edmonton Oilers coming up tonight. And I'm just gonna say it straight, guys. One of us needs to win. If we can't just keep going on, Jay in Jay fashion has not won one yet, which is fine because we all know what's gonna happen here eventually. The lot going on there.
You saw my bet and you're like,
I did.
You're like, crap. Jay's got it. You can't tell. I got the table out. I got my legs up. I'm very cozy in your chair right now.
It's a nice spot.
I know. I don't know where my leg. There's my leg. Hello.
Man, what is
goodness?
Oh, is Liam back? I leave for
my feet.
2 days, and there's purple on the screen and all this. Anyways, I think.
Oh, okay. Let's just go to a $2 of Jay and Tyler. That's all we need to do right now.
We are having a technical time over here, but I'm relaxed.
Yeah,
folks.
you look
I've
very
had a
comfortable.
Swiss Stone Air. I feel so confident about my bet today because I'm going on vibes.
Yeah.
I'm using the universe. I'm using the hockey gods, and I think all those align to make this a nice bet to put me in the lead.
Okay, well, tell us what your bet is. I don't think it'll come up on the screen, but we can just walk our way through this, and then we'll eventually get to Tyler.
Okay. We'll get to real talk here.
Yeah.
It's someone's 1,000th game tonight.
Yes. Adam Henrique is playing his 1,000th game. Tyler, did you know he is the first Oiler to play his 1,000th, first player to play his 1,000th game as an Oiler?
That doesn't seem right.
Well, then you're calling Jack Michaels a liar. Why will you lie on this?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, didn't Tyson Berry? No, like no one hit 1,000 games.
I think he played 700 games. I think everything was said and done.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. But Jay, you're going with Adam.
We had Adam
Henrique.
Oates play his 2,390th game with us. We had that.
Seems accurate.
Not far off. So it's all about Adam Henrique tonight. I know he's centering the 4th line, but he's survived 1,000 games in this league. And he still has gas in the tank. He is going to be rewarded with a goal tonight. Adam Henrique plus 550 to score. If you believe in good stories, this is the bet to make.
Let's go to Tyler's bet. Tyler, what are we working with tonight for you?
I'm going with the big guys got to wake up eventually. And throughout the course of the season, this is probably like my most bet same game parlay on Bet365, but it's puck line and it's Connor and Leon to both go over 1.5. They're on the same line. So again, that narrative kind of fits. And I was surprised to see, like, I'm going to be straight betting the puck line tonight. They're like plus 185 on the puck line. And this Ottawa team stinks at keeping the puck out of their net. And part of it is Allmark being like kind of shitty, but another part of it is their blue line I don't think is as strong as a lot of people think it is. So yeah, I think the Oilers, they gotta wake up. Like, I mean, watching those games on the weekend was a miserable punishment.
Yeah,
they led to really good naps for me both days.
I did fall asleep a little bit during the New Jersey game, I'll be honest, but we were saying right before tying game notes, the Sens are allowing the most goals in the NHL, 5 goals against per game, and they've not really played any good teams yet besides the Florida Panthers. But this is my bet, Reese, if you want to pull this one up. I am going with an Oilers win, over 2.5 goals, and Evan Bouchard to get 2.5 shots plus 250. He's hit it in every single game so far this season. So I just really wanted to win something.
That seems like a safe bet.
I almost just went with a Bouchard shots because I just need a win.
We all do, man. We're on the schneid. We're the Oilers.
We're the Oilers. Everyone needs a win.
We are the Oilers right now.
Okay, Jay, we can let you go. I can see you need to run away there. Tyler, it's just me and you.
Bye, Jay. Yeah, hey, how was DJ yesterday? What a fun day.
DJ was awesome. DJ was really good. Obviously, the big news, What Chaos is now part of the Nation Network, so that was fantastic. We actually talked a lot about piss.
And I missed it.
I know. That's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said, that you would be disappointed to hear it. So I would recommend you go back and hear that. But what do you make of the What Chaos announcement?
I mean, listen, I don't think it shouldn't like stun anyone that it happened, because when you look at kind of like who we are as a company and who they are as a show and who they are as people, like Pete, Sean, DJ, like when they came to town, it feels like we've all been friends with them for our whole lives. Like, they're the best. So it's such a natural fit. I'm so excited to have them on. And I think we're going to have DJ on like kind of every week going forward now as a part of this, which is just awesome for our show too, because I know everybody loves DJ, especially, YouTube chat.
Yeah, people were very excited about the news yesterday. DJ was asking, though, if we could get Pete on the show a little bit more. And I just said, as long as he gives more positive vibes on Johnny Lazarus, then we're probably good to have him on every other week or so. Yeah,
I think that's totally fair. I want to have Sean on too. Remember, we had Sean on last year and he was awesome. So again, all three of those guys are great. So that was a fun announcement. What else have I missed in the show and a half that I've been gone?
Yesterday we did. Aaron's back. Yesterday, obviously, DJ, like you said, we had David Pagnonia.
The new studio for Ryder and Lisa looks good, Tyler.
Yeah, very heavy table going
Nick's
on.
in town, so it's there's new walls up. There's a fancy new desk in there. A lot of TVs, a lot of stuff, a lot of good productive stuff.
Yeah.
New walls?
Sorry, Tyler. Hold that thought for 2 seconds, and we'll get back to the new studio.
Wallpaper.
We're going to switch into what's trending because we've moved on to a different topic and we need to get this chair out of the way. So what's trending is brought to you by Oodle Noodle. Aaron, if you want to tell everyone about Oodle Noodle.
So Oodle Noodle, my favorite. I tell you this, for a hangover treat this weekend, Oodle Noodle did me right. Because when you order right, I even doubled down and got 2 boxes for the weekend. But you can download their app today, maybe even sign up, and you can start earning some loyalty rewards points in there. They've got all kinds of incredible, awesome deals. Get some spring rolls, get some green onion cakes, or personally or lately, I'm into the deep fried wontons. Can't say I've ever really dabbled in that before, but they are addicting. And they come with that sweet chili sauce, whatever they do at Oodle Noodle with that sauce. It is incredible. Liam, what's your favorite thing from Oodle Noodle?
I'm a Sunny Chicken guy. I'm honestly probably going to get it tonight, considering that the Oilers have a very early puck drop. Again, you can go down to Dog Patch and watch the game with Aaron.
I'm eating Dog Patch food tonight, baby. It's going to be good.
Pre- and post-game show down at Dog Patch, so that's very exciting for him. But yes, Tyler, the studio is being updated. Nick is in town. The wallpaper, the real brick has been taken out, unfortunately.
All my hard work gone in one afternoon. That's bullshit.
I know, just taking it down brick by brick.
Literally. One by one.
Putting up a wood panel. It's an old vibe.
It's a good ski lodge vibe in there. I want to hang out in there.
Yeah. It's
real
good,
wood?
what was that?
Real wood?
Oh, no, they're not as good as us. They wouldn't be willing to put up the real wood. It's fake wood.
Okay.
There you go.
It's fake wood. What's your plan the rest of the day? What have you got going on down in Toronto?
I'm gonna be going to the Leafs Devils tonight. So that should be fun. I'm fancy boy on this trip, gentlemen. I'm staying in like a really bougie hotel, and we're sitting in a suite for Leafs Devils tonight. So Huts and I are gonna probably do exactly what we did yesterday and drink a lot of domestic light beers. And we're gonna. I think I might hate bet against the Leafs. Like I might bet on the Devils to win tonight. I'm thinking that's my plan. So yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Well, I think that would be a good thing too, to just probably get back the money you lost, I would assume, when the Oilers were terrible against the Devils this past weekend. What did you make of their performances in New Jersey and Detroit?
That was a rough weekend for pre and post, Tyler. It was painful this weekend.
If I have to watch another Oiler take the puck into the slot and then pass it to the outside, I'm going to start ripping out my hair. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't understand it, man. Like, Connor McDavid comes into the year being like, I want to shoot the puck more. I like scoring goals. He's not acting like he likes scoring goals right now. And I don't know. The energy was really, really off this weekend. I don't know what gives on that front. The efforts have not been even close to what they need to be. Like, that Sunday game against Detroit was a Sunday skate for the most of it. So that's like, honestly, am I incorrect for saying the only bright spot is Noah Philp? Like, he looked great again against Detroit. And you watch him have another good game, and it's like, what does Chris Knobloch not see in this guy? Like, why is he not an everyday player? And I think they're finally learning their lesson there, because he's in the lineup again tonight. But I don't know, man. It just sucks because they grabbed points in their first 3 games, and we're all kind of like, okay, like, not their best efforts, but like, here we go. This team's not going to have their typical early season funk again. And then, like, right on cue, they decide to piss down their own leg and play like garbage for 3 straight games.
Yeah, I would imagine now Noah Philp is going to continue to get more of a look in the lineup, because you're right, he came back in and played a pretty
He's
solid
the only
game.
one playing the simple game right now. That's like, okay, you're struggling, make simple plays.
They put him back with Matthew Savoy, so maybe there's a bit of a Bakersfield connection there. Reese, if we want to pull up the lines, Ty, I'm curious what you make of these. Obviously, Jake Walman back in the team tonight as well. Troy Stetcher coming out of the lineup, which I think that probably speaks a bit of volume that it's not Ty Emberson coming out and it's Troy Stetcher the one leaving the lineup. But Jake Walman, the big change. David Tomasek back in on the 4th line as well, with the news that Kasperi Kapanen is going to be out for a little bit of time here. But what do you make of these, Tyler?
Well, hopefully getting Jake Walman in this lineup can allow Darnell Nurse to reach some level of acceptable play, because he has been just absolutely terrible. And I like the point you brought up with Stetcher coming out of the lineup. And listen, Nurse and Stetcher, awful. I have their numbers up in front of me. In 54 5-on-5 minutes, the shot attempts are 60-33 for the other team. The actual shots are 29-17, and their expected goals for percentage is 28%. If Troy Stetcher is not going to be the Darnell Nurse whisperer, then Troy Stetcher doesn't need to be on this hockey team. Like, if he's not going to give you anything, and if him and Nurse are going to be legitimately unplayable together, then I think your decision in terms of who's coming off this roster is a very, very simple one. Jake Walman, I mean, you're going to have to drag the second pairing because, again, Darnell Nurse is playing bad hockey right now. But, again, hopefully Walman and Nurse can find some sort of a level. Like, we talked about this so much when we previewed the season. Like, that pairing is such a swing for this team, because if they can be as good as we believe they can be, if they can play to their potential, that is a legit high-end second pairing. But what we've gotten over the last 3 games is a second pairing that cannot stay afloat. It couldn't come fast enough, his return to the lineup. So, yeah, I'm excited to see Walman back. And then in terms of the forward groups, Matt Savoy's been buzzing. I continue to like his game. And I know people are going to, he's not scoring. The goals are going to come for this guy. It's just a matter of time for him. I like that third line, actually. I think Freddie, away from the skill, just for whatever reason, it frees him up a little bit. He moves his feet a little bit better. So I like that third line a lot. The fourth line, I look at that one, and that one for me is a little bit of like, what are we doing here kind of line. Like, put Ike Howard in Bakersfield, Tomasek will be here until Hyman's back. I know his analytics are good and all that, but I don't know. I don't love that fourth line. Third line, I do love. Everything else, I'm totally fine with. Podkolzin was one of the few guys against Detroit who was actually moving his feet, so he can stay in that spot.
Yeah, and I think with Pods, you can just kind of place him anywhere up and down the lineup, and you kind of know.
He's bringing his lunch pail. He's bringing it all.
The other thing with Walman in too, if worst case scenario, and hopefully this doesn't happen tonight, but Bouchard plays another bad game, you can take a few minutes away because now you have Walman to step in a little bit as well. I would imagine Ike Howard probably goes down once Hyman gets back. I mean, I think his stay has just been extended due to the injuries that just seem to keep popping up. Obviously, Kasperi Kapanen now have the lineup as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be obviously a longer-term injury too, which it's kind of funny how we all sit here and we're like, oh, what are they going to do? The roster crunch. And there is a part of it that's like, it kind of always just sorts itself out. Hey, someone always gets hurt or someone will start playing like crap, and then it'll be a much, much easier decision. But again, for Howard, like, I didn't hate Lazar's game against the New Jersey Devils. Like, if you think Ike Howard's best path for development is to go down to Bakersfield, don't just keep him up here for 10 more days because you want the spot on your roster. Like, put him down, let him start getting in those meaningful games, play Lazar a little bit, or call up someone, throw a James Hamblin in the lineup, or bring him up as your 13th forward. Like, I don't know. I just, if you're going to do the right thing for Howard's development, do the right thing for Howard's development and don't keep putting this off. But yeah, everything else here, I'm totally fine with. Roslovic, again, I kind of said I'm not judging him till we get to see kind of 5 games, but maybe a little bit concerned because I haven't viewed him as getting more impactful as the games have gone on. I think the guy's just Jeff Skinner.
I think he was a little bit better last game.
I think he's crossed with Ryan McLeod and Jeff Skinner. That's where I would go with it.
I mean, you want to see him be a bit more impactful, I think, either way. People keep bringing this up in the chat, and I honestly just disagree. They're upset that the Lions keep getting blended, quotations. They've lost 3 games in a row, and they've played terribly. I think just sticking with the same thing would honestly be just a horrendous idea, no?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Like, we can't just keep beating our heads against a cement wall here. Like, you need to switch something up. And, I'm not the guy who sits and hits the panic button in October. That's never really been my thing. And I'm certainly not going to do that after they've gone to the Cup final back-to-back years. But at the same time, if you're going to roll out a forward group that is stale and isn't generating offense, then what are you doing? Like, you can't just punt on these games. The points at the end of the day are still important. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like Knobloch's been I haven't been upset with some of the buttons he's been pushing. Like, he puts Connor and Leon together. They weren't playing well. He split them up. They aren't playing well. Put them back together. Like, you just kind of got to keep going and throwing stuff at the wall, and eventually something will stick, and they'll rattle off 3 or 4 straight wins. Like, it'll come. Yeah,
like Ryan puts there. You got to build chemistry. How can they do that when the lines keep getting changed? It's honestly minor changes.
And I mean, a lot of these guys in the top 6 have plenty of experience playing together, and this is one of the benefits you get of having a veteran squad that's been through the ringer together.
Yeah.
Aaron, that's a great point. Like, that's what I wanted to say is, like, these guys all know each other, and, like, there are not fresh faces littered throughout this lineup. And look at what we've seen in years past, too. Like, at this time last year, I'd love to go back and see what the lines were. And then you get to the playoffs, and game 1 of the playoffs, you're like, oh, yeah, Kapanen's in the top 6. He wasn't even on the team at this point last season. Like, things are just going to change throughout the year. And sometimes we get to the playoffs and we go, oh, man, thank God everyone has experience playing with each other, because when there's a major injury like a Zach Hyman and someone's got to go play with Connor McDavid now, like, everyone in the lineup's just not as intimidated being thrown into that spot.
You know, I do find it interesting, though, and this is something that has just been a constant but honestly, most of Knobloch's era. Like, the blue line just stays the same.
Yeah, he switches everything but the blue line.
The blue line, it never changes. I just wonder if, like, let's just say, let's walk down worst case scenario tonight. The Oilers lose. Nurse has a terrible game again. Bouchard struggles. Like, I just don't know how you could go back to it again. When is it? Thursday against Montreal, whatever day it is. Like, I think eventually you would have to shake things up. And if it comes to Darnell Nurse is on your third pair because he's playing so poorly and Brett Kulak's up the lineup, I couldn't care less how much money you make. It's about performance, and he's not playing well. Then you can't just continuously keep doing this to be like, wow, he makes so much money, we have to have him in the top 4. It's like, no, if Kulak's better, then Kulak should play higher.
I'm with you 100%. Like, I'm looking at the minutes from that last game against Detroit, and the only two players who were north of 20 minutes at 5-on-5 were Nurse and Bouchard. Like, Nurse's play right now is not warranting being that far up in the lineup. I even liked, he rarely does this, but you could tell listening to that broadcast, there was some frustration from our boy Louie DeBrusk talking about a Darnell Nurse icing. And like, if it's getting to that level where Louie, who is usually very forgiving, is bringing something like that up, then that shows you how frustrated probably the coaching staff is with a guy like Darnell Nurse. And, where I'll maybe disagree about like the money thing is like, I do think at this point in the year, you maybe want to try play guys out of their slumps a little bit. Like that was a question in the mailbag this week. It was like, why isn't there more accountability? And it's like, well, it's October. Like right now we're still a little bit of process over results. And like, if Darnell Nurse isn't playing well, at some point you need him to snap out of it. And if the coaching staff thinks he's a guy who needs to play through these ruts, then let him do it. Same thing with Bouchard. Like obviously they're not going to bench Evan Bouchard. They could scale back his minutes maybe a little bit now. If they think the reason he's struggling is that he's overwhelmed, then like, yeah, that makes sense. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is like every scenario is different. Some guys don't respond well to being stapled to the bench. Some guys do respond well and it's a kick in the ass and they come back and they play well. Some guys need to be played through their struggles and like you just need to get a bunch of reps and it's almost like the yips where like eventually it'll just click and he'll play better. Some guys, if you just pour on the minutes, I think Bouchard is an example of this. If Bouch is struggling and you just say, good, we're playing you more, he's going to try force it and you're not going to get 24 good minutes out of him. So again, this coaching staff has been Chris Knobloch, I should say, because it is a new staff now, but like Chris Knobloch has coached basically this exact team to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. I think at some point here, the act of, the coach, I hate this, I hate that. At some point, you can just sit there and go, he might know what buttons work for what guys. It's October. Let's cool it.
Yeah, sometimes I find myself going down that avenue sometimes. Just when
I
I'm
love
alone
the passion. I love the care of the people online and in the chat, but
just when I'm alone with my thoughts, and then I realize, they pay this guy millions to coach, and he's with them every single day. He probably
and he's
knows
gotten results in 2 seasons.
He knows a thing or two.
My question for Ty, I have
sorry.
How many windows are in that place you are right now? There's a lot of natural light in there. That does look like a nice bougie hotel room. That looks pretty solid. And then my question to you is, who's scoring a goal tonight for the Edmonton Oilers? And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, Tyler. If Louie calls Tommy Smokes today on the broadcast, I think he liked it when I said it earlier, and he might say it on the broadcast. I'm looking for it. But who's scoring a goal tonight for the Oilers? Because I'm trying to make the bankroll right now.
Okay, first off, on the hotel, lots of windows. That is correct. Also, again, I'm just very excited with how fancy this place is. The water bottles that they give you, they're glass. Have you ever even seen that before? I feel like a country person in the big city for the first time. I'm like, the water bottles are glass. What the hell? Who's scoring a goal tonight? That's a good question. I mean, the easy juice here is Pods, but there's a part of me. Bouchard scored that big goal against the Sens last year. Maybe there's something with the lighting at the Canadian Tire Arena that sorts everything out for him a little bit, and he's a little sharp. But maybe Bouch fires one home. Give me Bouch. I like Bouch. Bouch bomb.
Bouch. I think Roslovic might get one. I don't know. Something about playing with Nuge right now seems to be rubbing off on people, and I like the Nuge. I wanted to ask you quickly, Ty. My first part of the question, because if it's no, then I'm not going to ask you. Did you watch the Detroit game with Huts? Oh, no, because you were in Edmonton.
Yeah, I was still in Edmonton.
Oh, okay, that's too bad. I was going to say, has he brought anything up about Skinner over the weekend? Like, because I started my quality start meter, and it's going okay.
Well, we have adjoining rooms, so I can just knock. And no, I'm kidding. No, we haven't talked at all about Stuart Skinner. Honestly, it's been the furthest thing from my mind.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
That one goal was shitty. What'd you give him for that? A thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Okay, so this is the thing. So I asked the chat to do it. So Reese, if you can pull it up again for me when you got it. Yeah, bring up the chat one, then bring up ours. So I did the first three because I feel like it was just obvious. Like the first three, bad against Calgary, good against New Jersey, good against the Islanders. But then the chat said he was good against the Devils. The Red Wings. Aaron and I kind of both agreed it was a very so-so performance. Really good to start, kept the Oilers in it, but didn't make that crucial save when they truly, truly needed it. and it was like it seemed like a bad goal against. So I'm going to give him a so-so on the Red Wings game.
I would go so-so. Yeah, I agree with this one here. I thought he was excellent in both New York games and against Detroit. Again, like I can forgive every once in a while a goal like that going in, but the fact he's got 2 of them on his resume now and we're only 4 games into the season, it's fair to punish him for those at some point. Honestly, Calgary, I would almost even like I'd be fine with Calgary being considered a so-so game because I thought outside of that, again, shitty goal, he was actually really, really good. Like, I don't know if they've gotten like a truly bad start from Stuart Skinner where like he hasn't given him a shot at winning.
The only reason I would give him a down on the Calgary is just the way the game went. Like, they were winning that game, and it was the 3rd goal they had on, not the first goal, and I think that's why. But I agree. Like,
it did go 8 rounds in a shootout. That's giving your team a chance to win.
Made some saves in the overtime. I think he's been good. I don't think Calvin Pickett's been that good to start the season. The Vancouver game was just kind of like, he didn't really have a lot to do. Brock Besser scored early in the period. That was kind of it. And then the Devils, I don't know. I know the others played bad, but I don't think he really did much to help them either.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Again, we're going to get to a point here, November 21st, let's call it, where there will be conversations about Connor Ingram being ready. And if Calvin Pickard has a lot of these, the sideways, and a lot of the thumbs down, there's a world where they make that swap. Again, the numbers and the success is kind of all dependent on that, but like 865 is not good.
No, it's not good. And Connor Ingram played his first game for Bakersfield the other day. Finished with a .950 save percentage in the game. 21 saves on 22 attempts, and what was a 2-1 win. It's not like they buried them 7 or 8-1. It was a tight game, and Quinn Hudson scored. Do you think now after the start to the season? I know you briefly mentioned it there. Is that something you think could happen a little sooner rather than later, or what are we thinking?
Why did Reese just hit the DJ Khaled button?
I think he accidentally did it. I think he accidentally tried to turn the volume down.
You guys didn't hear that on your end? I just heard DJ Khaled go, real life. Sorry, that was distracting as hell. What was my question?
Do you think Ingram could come up sooner than expected?
That has been my worst nightmare, to accidentally hit one of those buttons before. I've never done it. I'm happy Reese did it. There we go.
Do I think he could come up? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to slow play it. Like, again, it's results. Like, if Pickard is bad for like the next 2 weeks, then there'll be a conversation about it for sure. I don't think Pickard will be so bad that they get the itch to do it early. And I think they're going to be pretty committed to Ingram getting his games in, and they want to be like really 100% sure he's good to go before they bring him up. Because here's the thing with that Ingram move is like, and, Bowman used the line of, we want everyone to get called up once. And I know that's not like we're talking about prospects when Bowman says that, but I think that line applies here too. Like, if you bring up Ingram and you waive Pickard and you make that decision and Ingram isn't 100% ready and he comes up and he's bad for 3 weeks, what are you doing? Where do you go from there? Like, what if Pickard is claimed? I don't think Pickard gets claimed because, again, you're only going down this line of thinking here, and this thought exercise is like Pickard's playing bad, so you'd assume he gets through. But like, what are you making that move early, November 10th? Okay, then Ingram's not good. Okay, so then you're bringing up Pickard again and sending Ingram down at Christmas. Like, you can't flip flop. Like, when you do it, it needs to be pretty definitive here, I think.
I think so too, because as we mentioned before, I think this could shake up the room a little bit more than people expect as well. Pickard, a very respected player in there. So if you're going to make the decision, you got to make sure it's the one you want. I think we'll wrap up probably right away here, Ty, but what are your predictions for tonight? What's your final thoughts on tonight's game?
I think they will have a decisive win. I just think this team is too talented to look this stale. And I know there's maybe the early season lull, and even though they say all the right things in camp, I think it's just kind of hard for them to get up for these October games. But what can change is getting your ass kicked a few times. And I'm sure sleeping on the road, all this stuff, and losing, I think we're going to see a really grumpy Oilers team tonight. And usually that's a good sign. Like, grumpy Oilers usually means no nonsense Oilers. I don't think when Connor is angry or Leon's pissy, they're doing a lot of cutesy shit. I think we'll see a lot of shots on net tonight. I'd be very interested in taking a bunch of shot props in this one. I think we will see a grumpy Oilers team come out and probably win pretty handedly, I'll say.
I hope so. I just want to enjoy an Oilers hockey game tonight, to be honest.
I looked it up because you're mentioning the Evan Bouchard dangle he had last season against the Senators. In that game, the Oil won 5-2. Connor, 3 points. Leon, 3 points. Boosh, 3 points. Please be a get-right spot here against a wounded animal in the Ottawa Senators, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ty. Well, there you go. You're back on Thursday, flying home tomorrow?
Yeah, my flight leaves at like 2:30 tomorrow. So maybe I'll jump on in like the first, if I'm all settled at the airport, maybe I'll come on and give you guys like 3 hot takes right off the jump, start a little fire, get everyone going, then I'll dip.
Perfect. All right. We'll see you in a couple of days, buddy. Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thanks for doing this.
Bye-bye. Have fun.
There you go.
I'm jealous. I'll say it. He looks like he's having a great time. Also, glass water bottles. Is that like the Voss, but like it's glass, I guess? I'm so poor, I don't even know what that looks like.
I only have plastic in my house, so too worried.
I carry 1 cup around the house.
Yeah. There you go. Tyler on the Star Mechanical guest line. Thank you, Tyler. Let's quickly wrap up with, let's do some score predictions, Aaron. What do you think of it tonight? I'm
going 5-2 for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm saying a repeat performance now of what happened last year when they went down to the Canadian Tire Center or Arena. Can't remember which way it said. I'm going 5-2. For my anytime goal scorer, it's a Boosh bomb. This is Boosh's city. This is Boosh's town. He needs something bad. It's shocking to look that he still doesn't have a point yet this season, Liam. So need to get him on the score sheet, and I do think Linus Ullmark might be the guy to do it against, at least at this point in the season right now, as he's been struggling. 5-2 for the Edmonton Oilers.
I'll go 5-2 as well with an empty net. I just think tonight's the night that the Stars should come out to kind of get things rolling a little bit.
I said that on Saturday. I said that on Sunday. I was kidding. I mean it now.
This feels like a game where it's like, okay, Detroit and New Jersey, both good teams. And I think Ottawa is obviously a good team too, but they're in a major slump right now. So I'm going to go against the Ottawa Senators tonight, of course, like I always do when I make my Oilers predictions, and go with an Edmonton Oilers epic victory royale. Pre-game in starts at 4
p.m. live from Dog Patch underneath in this very building we're in right now. Come on down, check it out on our socials. We're going to do it a fair amount this season, I do believe. Great food, great drinks, great company, as me, Brett, and Dan are going to be there all evening long. Should be a good one. Come on down. I got to go look at the Dog Patch menu because I'm already salivating at the thought of eating there tonight. I'm fired up.
It's going to be great.
Yeah,
Head down to Dog Patch. Aaron will be there. Nation Dan.
Brett,
the breadman, the real breadman. There you go. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We will be back tomorrow with another edition of Oilers Nation Every Day. Oil up!
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered, from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.